Father, I have sinned.
I'm Wilfred, Agana. I was born in 68. I was then ordained on the 16th of October 1999, just inaugurating the Jubilee year, the year 2000. Yeah, I was ordained together with my twin brother, Father Sebastian Zato, by the Archbishop of Tamale, Most Reverend Gregory Ivo Pimbaya. The Bishop of Damongo was also there in attendance. The ordination took place in the Ola Cathedral here in Tamale. My initial appointment was in the Holy Cross Parish here in Tamale, located at Jowo, Manayili. That's where I was appointed as a curate to work under Father Camilo Bonsuri. In fact, we took over from the missionaries of Africa, people called the White Fathers. So that is where I worked, I think, for the first 4 years of my ministry. It gave me the opportunity here to experience various groupings in the church, and then in-depth pastoral work, and to get to know the Goma culture a bit deep, because I did 3 months of the Goma language in Garijabo there, and it helped in my ministry. And if you know the pastoral terrain of Holy Cross, the main parish, they are organized in groups. You have the Kasina, Nakana, the Flafra, the Gomba, the Dagavas, the various groups. So I had the opportunity to see this face of the church. That time too, Holy Cross had a lot of outstations. We bordered now the northeast region, those bordering Walwale, that's still part of Holy Cross. There I was the local manager. Actually, it should be the parish, but he asked me to be the local manager. I was also in charge of the youth, and also especially in charge of the partnership program in that parish. And then Tex also co-opted me into the Old Testament translation. So I was also in that group translating the Old Testament into the Bani. So the 4 years, it was very lovely. Yeah, then from there, the Archbishop then called me one night, midnight, and said he wanted to see me the following day. So the following day I got there, he said, Wilfred, you know, I wanted you to do some further formation, but I want you in Pandai for now. How do you think about it? I said, okay, that's all right. So then I moved to Panda as an assistant parish priest there under the late Father Timothy Akanson. This appointment also went with the appointment as the notary for the Archdiocese. So I was appointed as the notary for the tribunal, which I also worked there, while in Panda I would come and then write their minutes anytime there were cases. So from Panda, I think I did 2 years barely. And I was now just beginning to settle, to enjoy the place. He said I have to move. Called me one evening and said the youth are orphans now. I said, youth? Yeah, that's the Archdiocese youth. I said, why? That I'm sending Boniface for further studies in interreligious dialogue. So I said, what does that mean? That you are the youth chaplain. So I said, oh. So I packed bag and baggage again and came to the Archdiocese youth office. The immediate program was a jamboree in Accra, so we organized, and when that experience just made me fall in love with the youth work, because I saw this energy in the youth and then the zeal to do things when you give them guidelines and then give them a bit of freedom. But that lasted just for, I think, 150 days. Then I went for a funeral, and then when I returned back to the parishioners were saluting me, welcome parish priest, welcome parish priest. I said, what is that? Then the following day I saw a letter from the Archbishop appointing me parish priest of St. Peter St. Paul Parish. As Archdiocese youth chaplain, I was resident in St. Peter and Paul Parish under Emmanuel Wejong. So when he passed on, I was then appointed the parish priest, and then John Baptist Pampoe took over the youth apostolates. So I just now took my foot down, wanted to really settle, and I made a joke with the Archbishop sometime. I said, now maybe you have to restore me. I'm just whatever. So he laughed. Then, I think after 3 years there in St. Peter, about 4 years in St. Peter and Paul, he told me that for Agana, I said, yes, that I have something difficult for you. I said, something difficult? Yeah. So when he then told me after these years that there's a problem, I said, a problem? Yeah, that I want you to go for further formation in ecumenism. I said, yeah, okay. Well, then I said, good. But then the problem is, he's asked me to go to Germany. That I said, but why Germany? That because of sponsorship. I said, can't it be anywhere else? He said, yeah, he has tried, but this is where the Germans say they can sponsor. So he told me that, Agana, no, you can go and study the language and then make it. So that's how I went to Germany unannounced. I wanted to announce to the parishioners, do whatever. He said, you go, leave that to me. So I then went to Germany for further formation and came back, I think 2014, I finished, and then 2015, I rounded up my studies. And then there I was studying, but also doing active pastoral work in the hospital, and then in the parish, and then in charge of scouts and then the youth in that parish. So when I finished, I then came back home. It was the beginning of 2016 that I came back. So immediately when I came back, then there was then by that time a new archbishop who welcomed me and then asked me to be rector in St. Charles Minor Seminary. My duty as rector didn't call for teaching or whatever, but I realized that the lack in the area of the faith and other things, as a good of them were not baptized. So I started, I imposed a course on them, Catholic doctrine. So that one I was teaching. It was also examinable. It didn't go anywhere, but to let them be serious. Plus the minimal administrative work I could do, because you also have a headmaster, and government, since we are government assisted, he is more acknowledged in terms of administration and other things. So I combined that rector, the work also with spiritual director, and then also chaplain of the minor seminary. Then 2021, that was precisely November, I got a job in the University of Development Studies. So in consultation with the Archbishop, go for the university appointment. So for now till now, that's where I am. The Department of Philosophy and Religions, and that is in Yankpala campus under the Faculty of Social Sciences. And as of now, I live in St. Monica's Parish. I'm in residence there, and then lecture in the university. They also have the Thomas Aquinas chaplaincy there. Normally, when the appointment comes, I normally have trepidations and some reservations and fear. It's me, natural. But then when I begin, I realize that, oh, this is just the place. And whenever I'll now begin to settle, then they say move here again. So I have worked that into my vocation story and pastoral work to this is the core to the priesthood, obedience, and then self-sacrifice to the work. So when they say move, you are moving like a soldier. When they say settle here, you settle. When the captain say run, then you're running. And I think that God's grace is even more in my life, more than my own efforts, and then collaboration with other brothers and other experienced people, and then also my twin brother who were ordained together. When in doubt, when in question, I call, I get in touch. So knowing who to contact. My own vocation journey, when I got into the seminary, I didn't go there actually to be ordained a priest. My aim was to find out, because I have an elder brother that is a priest, and then my junior brother, who was also in the seminary, he started aspiring before me. He was for the Jesuits, so I used to bring him to Tamale. So my vocation actually started at the college time, when I started getting involved in other things. So I didn't go there to. Even the day I was going to seminary, it was just to go and find out what I had. And then I found myself getting ordained. My hobbies, they have changed in a bit with time, but they are still there. For example, my first hobby growing up was listening to birds singing, canary birds. So even in Holy Cross and then primary, I had a cage with the canary birds. So I like nature, so I take walks into nature, just admire nature, and then listen to animals sing and birds sing. It brings, it recuperates me, energy, whatever. That is one of my hobbies. So now with animal rights and human rights and whatever, even in Germany, the Germans gave me a canary bird. So it was there in my room. I don't know whether Zato ever saw it there. There's another hobby I have in the line of agriculture. But under Yankpala now, I'm not, my landlord has not given me the chance. That is beekeeping. I like to keep bees And then they do very well. People say have a hand, whatever. And then they become very docile. Some people say I talk to bees. So that is also a second hobby. The third hobby is just to lazy about sleep. They used to tell us in the seminary, try to take a day off, time to sleep, whatever. Some are so busy they don't do that. But normally, I find in a week, or when I'm so stressed, not in a week, maybe at least once in a month, to just take a day off and then do a lot of sleeping, drink a lot of water, and then good eating, and then the other things that go with all that. But in fact, another hobby is learning of languages. Wherever I am, I just want to learn the language, begin the culture. Then I learn them very fast, and I can also forget them very fast. Language, yeah. I think the first people I really have to appreciate, who have shown me love and then support, are my late parents. They started as benefactors. They didn't give me any challenge in going to the seminary. And anytime I went back home, even as a priest, asked or not, they are those saying, hey, you will need fuel money, you will need that and that. Don't deserve this way, stay here. So materially, they never left me hungry. Then I think the various formators in the seminary, and then the two Archbishop, one late and now, and all other priests. Normally we forget that this life must be lived in a Presbyterian, in a brotherhood, and then in solidarity with others. The various help they give is also one of assistance to us. There are a number of parishioners and lay faithful who pray for me, and then sometimes surprise me with a gift. So these are all who are supporting me in the work materially, and then in a very prayerful form. Of course, stepping beyond the boundaries of the country, I have a good number of friends in Munster where I studied, and then some of them are now in other states. Some are priests, some are study colleagues who are in touch, and I don't give them headaches. But when I'm seriously in need of something, and they know, and I give a message, they come to my help. Thank you. And to all third family members, you are all benefactors in the course of this priesthood. The most Reverend Philip Nama, he's more than an archbishop because he was my formator in the major seminary. And then I think in the early days of the seminary, being a good formator, he already identified me some skills. For example, typing. And then he encouraged me, and then he made sure that I was ever there to type. And then I learned it, and that has been the main foundation for my ICT knowledge and other things. Then he also asked me, if you can learn to type, even playing the organ should not be anything, because I like music. So those who were my colleagues would notice that I learned this typing very fast, and then I was able to accompany the singing in St. Victor's. But like the language school, I said, when I left the seminary and came, I didn't have immediate means to get an organ. So I'm sure these fingers have grown stupid now. I don't know if I sit behind the organ, but I can produce good music. These are just two examples how he mentored me in my journey to formation. He became the Bishop of Damongo, where I belonged, and that mentoring continued. With his permission, I became I was ordained for TAMALE, and then my brother remained in Damongo. So when he then came here as Archbishop, that mentorship continued. So thank you, Your Grace, for this mentorship and other things. And God reward him in his fatherly care. Yeah. And I think the best tribute to give to our Archbishop is to be a good priest. So that's what I'm trying to be, a good priest, a holy priest. I'm not there, but I'm just trying. So that's the best thank you I can say to them. I don't think they need anything other than that.